The depths in which you love yourself is going to determine so much in your life. It's going to determine how much you can love your queen or your romantic partner. It's going to determine the depths in which you're present with your children, with the people around you. People are going to be able to feel your authenticity because you're coming from an open hearted place, not trying to think so hard of who you are, but you know who you are because it's coming from your heart. Loving yourself is going to make you a much more effective leader, provider, protector for those around you. But we've actually been programmed by the powers that be to hate ourselves, to have self hate and lack self worth. Why? Because they know that this is where superpowers as men lie. It's within the heart, it's within authenticity. It's the highest vibration that you can have is the vibration of love and authenticity. What do they not want? Freedom. When we are our authentic self, we have power because we're being authentic. It's a high frequency. When you're not tapped into your heart, you don't have an open heart, you're not loving yourself, you become controllable. Because when you're not operating from your heart, aka love, you're operating from fear. And when you're operating from fear, you are a controllable being. That's what the powers that be want for you. They want it for me. They want it for your loved ones and everyone around you, everyone on planet Earth. They want them in fear so they can be susceptible to fear, the programs, the illusions. They can go under hypnosis and easily be controlled. There's a large crisis in the world right now where men are not loving themselves. In fact, they don't even know what loving themselves even mean. And because they lack this awareness, they're going through life lost as a little puppy. They're committing suicide. Suicide numbers now are maxing out higher than ever. Depression, anxiety, mental health issues are skyrocketing through the roof. More men are getting on these medications from big pharma, and it's making their symptoms even worse, keeping them what? More controllable. And when they're more controllable, they do what? They settle in life. They settle for the relationship. They settle for the job that just pays the bills. Nothing for them to actually figure out and step into what their true purpose is because they don't have the resources to step into what their true purpose is in life, to even explore what their true purpose is in life because they're stuck in their relationship, they're stuck in the job that's barely paying the bills. If you missed one paycheck, you're done. And all these programs have been put into place to ultimately make men weaker leaders, weaker providers, weaker protectors, not just physically and providing the financial means for your family, but also being there emotionally for them, to be there energetically, to hold the space for your woman, to be able to actually sit there with your children and see them not be stressed out because you just went to work. That's what the powers that be want. They want you to go work hard and work to paycheck, come home stressed as just so you can't spend that quality time with your family because they know the laws of human nature. They know how we operate, and they're leveraging that in order to get you guys to be powerless, to submit to the program, to feel hopeless, to where you feel like you can't even get out of it at this point, so you just settle in life. Ultimately, they want to keep you away from loving yourself. And I bring up self love a lot. There's a reason I bring up self love a lot and opening your heart a lot. The most powerful frequency in the world is authenticity and love. And what do they not want? They do not want us to be in the power of love. Love comes from the heart because that's our source of God. God is love. So they disconnect you from your heart, from your truest self, from your soul's purpose. This disempowers men. And why is this important? Because not only does it weaken the men in the modern day society, but then you have kids and those kids grow up because it's already in your genetics. Even if you teach them well, you already have ancestral trauma from 14 generations ago that's being programmed. The same limiting beliefs that you have, the same traumas that you have, are all being passed on generation to generation. The fear that's embedded into your DNA, it's being passed on to the next generation of children that are being raised, and they're becoming more and more weak, more and more docile, susceptible to the control of the program. And all of this happens because you don't know how to open your heart and lead from an open heart or lead from love, like true love. Like love, a lot of people, a lot of men, they use the word love as an obligation, like, oh, I love you, honey, but they don't actually feel the frequency and the vibration, the intention of what the word love actually means. It's not even the word, it's the feeling. That's what love is. It's a feeling, it's a frequency. So when you can learn to tap into that frequency and fully embody it, then you can give that presence to everyone else because you are embodying it, you're acting, you're operating your daily life through the lens of love. Your connections with people, your actions, your thoughts, your beliefs are now programmed through the lens of love, ultimately making you vibrate at the frequency of love. And those around you, they will pick up on the energy, the frequencies that your body is transmuting into the field, into the world. They'll pick up on it unconsciously, and then they're going to start feeling it. And they're going to be led to love, to open up their heart. And it's going to make the world a much more peaceful and loving place. The world more now, we need strong men that can open their heart, face their deepest, darkest demons, and that can lead from the heart. Because if you're not leading from the heart, you're not leading from love, what are you leading from? You're leading from fear. I think I said that 5 times already today. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to love yourself as a man so you can fight back the powers that be. You can fight for your freedom. You can fight for your loved ones and everyone around you and truly step into the power and purpose that you have come here to be. So it's a process. It's a journey. So get your notepads out, get your pens out, and get ready to write some stuff down. Number 1, accept the past for what it was. Oh, let it go. Don't hold on anymore. Hold back anymore. Something like that. I don't know. I've actually never watched that movie. Half of it, I fell asleep. And the way that you let go of the past is 1, forgive others for doing wrong to you or doing harm to you or those that love you. At the end of the day, every single soul is trying to get back to a place of love. And they are just trying to express themselves to be seen enough to get back to the place of love. But a lot of souls, they're lost. They don't know how to express themselves. So they do these hurtful things. So just recognize that. Give others. They don't know what they don't know. And forgive yourself. You don't know what you don't know. So forgive yourself. It's okay. And tell yourself, give yourself compassion. Hey man, I was young and dumb. It doesn't matter how bad it is. I've done some really stupid, shameful things in my life that I'm really not proud of. But until I could go back and accept those aspects of myself, I could never get to where I am today with an inner peace and acceptance. I just see it for what it is. So love yourself. At the end of the day, you were just doing the best with what you already knew in that moment. And the same thing for other people. Have compassion for them. If you have a grudge towards your parents, or you have this grudge towards coworkers or whatever, they may not be out there to actually hurt you. A lot of people aren't out there to actually hurt you and mess up your life. A lot of people, they just don't know how to express it. And like your parents, they might raise you in a certain way. They're not trying to raise you to hurt you. Some people do, but most of them don't. They're trying to raise you in the right way. And even though it didn't make sense to you as a kid, you had to go through that to build this level of awareness in order to be where you are today, to gain that wisdom from your childhood and growing up, so you can give that wisdom and that knowledge to other people that might need to hear it in order to grow and evolve in their life. So have compassion with your parents. Have compassion with your ex-wife or your ex-girlfriends or anyone that did you wrong. Have compassion with them. Just let it go. It's holding on to the past is doing you absolutely nothing. So get your scissors. Ready? Here, we're going to do this together. Take a deep breath. Breathe out. Deep breath in. You got your scissors and cut the cord. Cut the energetic cord and just feel it releasing from your body. It's done. It's over. The past is over. So that's step 1. Accept the past for what it is. Forget. Start thinking about your future now. This personal accountability, constructive criticism, whatever you might want to call it, this is the most important step. It's the first step, but the first step is always the most important step. So you have to take this. You cannot achieve true freedom, true purpose, true inner peace, true whatever you actually want in life without taking this first step. And by you acknowledging your past, you're recognizing that you are the creator of your reality. Everything that happened to you in the past, you took responsibility. I took responsibility for my life. You take it for yours. But what is that doing? That's showing yourself, showing God, source, the universe, that you are taking accountability for the fact that you are the creator of your reality, good or bad. So now that you realize that you created a difficult past reality, what can you do now? Because you recognize that you are the creator energetically, you can now create the future. You literally create your reality now, and it can be whatever you want because you're recognizing the power that you've always had. Before, it was always an unconscious program. That's why you attracted certain of those things, because they were ancestral traumas and DNAs vibrating at a specific frequency that your subconscious mind attracted into your reality unconsciously. But now, because you're conscious of it, you can change the way that you think, believe, act, and feel on demand. You change your frequency just like that. And now you don't have to attract those negative things anymore. You can start attracting the beautiful things that you want in your life. This is where you actually get to create your true reality. This is where power comes from. Step number 2 is heal your past. We basically just talked about it, but it's essentially just having compassion, forgiving the past, yourself, starting with yourself, and then forgiving others as well. And the big thing is here, guys, don't feel victim mode. Go into the deepest, darkest depths and extract, why is that such a hard word? Extract the wisdom and the knowledge, the lessons that are being taught to you during those tough times. That's when the lessons come to you, is whenever you go through some really difficult stuff. And then you come out of it, you're starting to feel really good. And then you're like, oh, that's the lesson. Let me learn from it. Now I get to do something differently. But people keep attracting the same situations and circumstances because they don't extract the wisdom and the knowledge in those experiences, so they continue to recreate them. Now that you have the wisdom, the lessons, the knowledge, and you know what they are, next time those lessons come up or those experiences come up, you get to make a different decision in your life. Do I want to repeat past patterns, or do I want to create a new reality? And every time you create the new reality, you do something different. You're no longer an insane person. Einstein's definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. You are now closing the chapter of your old self and recognizing that you are the creator, and now you are creating the future reality in which you desire. All because you're making different decisions. You're thinking differently. You're acting differently. You're believing differently. You're surrounding yourself with different people now. Something that's really helped me along my personal development journey is really recognizing that there is no good or bad. It's our ego that recognizes good or bad. View the world through the lens of neutrality. It just is. Like me, I went through divorce and almost went bankrupt. And back then I was like the victim. I'm like, like, why is this happening to me and blah, blah, blah. And 5 years later, literally like a year ago, I started to view it from the lens of neutrality and just see, oh, okay, I was divorced. I was suicidal, cut myself, I went bankrupt. In that relationship, I let go of my boundaries, I let go of my power and my purpose, and I shielded my heart. So many things. Anything that could go wrong basically went wrong in that relationship. But it was until a year ago that I was able to recognize the relationship for what it is. And through each one of those experiences of my life, I saw it through the lens of neutrality. I just saw it for what it is. And then I was able to learn the lesson, actually see the lesson clearly. And now I've been integrating those things into my life. And dude, I've been evolving so much faster than I was 3-4 years ago when I first started my spiritual personal development journey. So view the world through the lens of neutrality. Don't get attached to the good or the bad. Just see it for what it is. This is really important. Whenever those emotions come up, you start thinking about the past and you start feeling about it. Maybe you're in an environment where it triggers your anxiety because your past partner gave you anxiety for whatever reason. So certain people or certain words or certain circumstances or events or thoughts, they trigger these emotions. Let's say anxiety real quick, or depression. Know that you are not those emotions. You are simply the observer of those emotions. So many men, they attach themselves, their identity to those energies, those emotions. That's not you. You get to choose what frequency you vibrate at. So the way that you heal it, these frequencies are going to come up because this is stored energy in your body. But what's going to happen is those emotions are going to start to rise, and you're going to start to feel depression, anger, guilt, shame for random stuff. And some people may not even trigger you. It just might occur. Instead of being like, oh, change your mind and go. Don't do that. When it comes up, it's trying to transmute itself. It's trying to release itself. So the way that we heal it is recognize it, be like, here's the depression. What's up, friend? I like to be friends with my emotions because they're all aspects of ourselves. Good, bad, the ugly, it doesn't matter. Be friends with all aspects of yourself. So the depression comes up like, hey, depression, I recognize you. I see you, because that's what it wants. It's coming up. It's like, hey, look at me, give me attention. So you recognize, you acknowledge those emotions, and then you say, you no longer serve me. Thank you for the lessons and the wisdom you've given me, and release it. I like to deep breath, and you release it, and you feel better. And sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll feel a little bit better. Keep doing this for whatever emotion that you're trying to get rid of every time it comes up. And over time, you're going to notice those emotions come up less and less. And you're going to start to feel that you're going to start feeling more positive. So we've all been programmed for mental health disorders and these negative emotions, anger, guilt, shame, hate, lust, and all these things. So, of course, we've been programmed with it. So that we have like this giant negative ball of energy that's just embedded into our DNA, right? And now that you have the newfound awareness of how to deal with it, this positive ball of energy, the positive emotions, positive thoughts, positive actions, like that big. It's not too big yet. The more that you exercise it consciously, competently, on a daily basis, on a momentarily basis, that positive ball of energy gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually it engulfs the negative ball of dark energy. And that negative ball of energy just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it's dissipated. What did you do? Over the past 4 years, you just transmuted most of your emotions. And there's going to be times 10 years from now, after you're doing the work consistently, the emotions are going to come up a little bit, but they're going to be less strong. They're going to have less control over you. They're going to be a lot easier for you to transmute them. So give those emotions when they come up, give them some love. Another thing that you can do to heal a lot of these emotions and love yourself is reframe the negative beliefs. Recognize what beliefs are hurting you. Journal these out. What are your beliefs around money? What are your beliefs around women, around relationships, around having children, around your own self-worth? Ask hard questions to yourself. As men, this is the hard stuff that we need to be doing. Where am I lacking in life? Like, where am I really fucking up? Do I actually love myself? Do I actually care about being seen? Because a lot of guys, they don't. We're in the world of social media and technology where guys don't want to be like, hey, this is my gift. Like, they're proud of who they are. They're not like that. They're hiding, they're introverts. And I used to be a huge introvert, and I still am a little bit, but I can be extroverted because I know my purpose is big. And if I didn't get over my self-worth wound and ask those deep questions to overcome those self-worth wounds by reframing those beliefs, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you guys and helping you guys open your heart and talking about self-love. So imagine the other men, the other women out there, the children, the people in your life in the future that are missing out because you're not seeing the self-worth within yourself. You're not asking the deeper, darker questions about yourself that are actually going to help you grow and evolve. So when you feel and experience these blockages in your body, these feelings, good, bad, whatever they might be, even certain circumstances or events that happen in your life, ask yourself, why are these happening to me? What am I thinking to attract these things into my life? Because ultimately, we are the creators of our life. We've already accepted that, right? We're taking the power. Now we're just reaping the repercussions, the karma, and just accepting the fact that you're going to have to go through a few learning curves in order to get to where you want to be and be okay with it. Just make sure you're doing it from a neutral perspective. You can recognize limiting beliefs based off of certain patterns that you have, whether you're a people pleaser or you lack boundaries. Maybe you have, I'm not going to say problems, but you have patterns where you're just hooking up with women or you're relying on drugs or alcohol in order to cope with something. Like, what are these patterns? Why is this happening? And I'll create videos later talking about specifically how to reframe limiting beliefs. But just start asking yourself these questions, and then you're going to go deep, deep, deep and mitigate distractions when you are asking these questions. Journal about it, write them down. The best way is to get them on paper. When you do this, you're going to feel relieved. That's another way of transmuting it. Just write it on paper, express it. These emotions just want to be expressed, and journaling is just another form of expressing through your mouth, through feeling, through movement, through writing things down. So whatever feels good to you to transmute and move these energies through your body, transmute them, let them flow through you and complete themselves, do it, bro. There's not one right way to do it. The third step to loving yourself is just embodying who you are. Be your true, authentic self. Do the things that make you feel good. Just like the ball of energy example. Right now, this is your ball of energy. It's negative. It's not feeling good very much. But you have the awareness, so you're continuing to grow. The more that you do for yourself, the more that you do the things that show your subconscious mind, your body that, hey, I am worth it. Even if it's just brushing your teeth or looking at yourself
in the mirror every day and saying, I love you, you are worthy, and giving yourself that positive self talk. That is reinforcing. That is truly loving yourself. And again, that ball of energy is going to grow, 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 and that negative ball of energy is going to go down, 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 down until it like is almost gone completely. And you're going to be living your life through the lens of self love, through an open heart, through the lens of love. So do the self care things, whether it's going to the gym, jujitsu, go for a dance lesson, walk the beach, go out in nature, go hike, go travel. Leave the relationship if you need to. Quit that job if you need to. If you're feeling tense, especially in the heart area, that's your soul trying to talk to you saying, it's time to move on. And that's what me and my previous partner had to do a year ago. Like, it was a perfect relationship. We just felt that nudge on both of our hearts. And we're like, I don't know what this energy is. We just have to let it go. And we let each other go. And it was one of the greatest decisions I ever made, hardest decision I ever made, but it made me the man that I am today, the sacrifice in order to actually be here with you guys today. So all in all, do the things that make you feel good. And no, robbing a bank is not going to make you feel good, because at the end of it, you're going to feel guilt, shame, you're going to be looking behind your shoulders, wondering if the cops are coming behind you. So don't ask stupid questions like, oh, what if it feels good to have sex with 100 girls? Like, if that makes you feel good, I'm not going to judge. I don't judge anyone. If it makes you feel good to rob a bank, go for it. But everything has an equal and opposite reaction. That's all I'm going to say. I accept you and I love you. You can do whatever you want. Growth is not linear. Those are the guys that say, oh, same shit, different day. They're working the 9 to 5s. And I'm not saying the 9 to 5s aren't good. If you enjoy it, great. If you don't enjoy it, there's probably something better out there for you. But the way that we grow and open our heart is I wish I had like a visual, a paper or something. Yeah, whatever. So we're starting down here. Imagine like the stock market, right? Up, it goes down, blah, 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 blah. Like in the stock market, I'm a trader. It goes up, it comes down, but it doesn't go all the way down. So we're starting here, right? So we're starting right here, and it goes up because you have awareness, because growth isn't linear. Now you go down just a little bit. You extract the wisdom and the knowledge from the depths. That's when you're going to start feeling more emotions, depression, anxiety. Learn from it, extract the wisdom, and then it's going to go up to the next level. And what is that? That's a higher high in trading. That's what we call it. And then you go down a little bit after feeling really good for a little while. But what? You don't go down to the last low. You don't go all the way back down to rock bottom. You feel more and more empowered in these negative emotions or these negative experiences that if you would have felt a year ago, it would have been deemed negative. Now you're just recognizing it for what it is. And because you're doing that and you're extracting the wisdom and the knowledge from it and you're applying it, integrating it into your life, it's creating new highs for you. It's creating higher lows for you. That is how we grow in life. It's like a staircase. The staircase is the epitome of what growth is. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's great. It's not same shit, different day. And when you're loving yourself, you're actually embodying it and doing these actions. You're doing the self-care practices. You're giving yourself love. You're talking. You have that positive self-talk going back and forth in your mind. No more, oh, fuck you, and you're terrible. Why are you doing this? I hate you for doing that. Like, you're terrible. None of that. Now you have that positive confirmation, that positive dialogue in your head that you're talking positively to yourself. And when you find yourself talking negative, just change it. Fast, boom, shh. Thoughts are frequency. You could change it in an instance, just like you change the radio. Now you're no longer searching for love or validation or acceptance from other people, because you've already validated it within yourself. So when you go into future relationships, future business endeavors, romantic partnerships, whatever, you're no longer searching for validation, for someone to love you. A lot of men, they go into relationships trying to be loved by that woman so she can love him, because he doesn't know how to love himself. Is this all starting to make sense to you guys? Is this making sense of like why opening your heart is so important in order to find inner peace, inner freedom, so you can attract the right partners in the world, that they love you for who you are, but you don't have to search for them. You don't have to rely on them for love, because you love yourself. With or without them, you're not attached. You just get to enjoy the earthly experience in which comes your way. Now, all the love that you experience comes from the love within yourself. One of my old mentors, he said, you can only experience the highest of highs as much as you're willing to experience the lowest of lows. It's the concept of duality. So if, say there's like a line, right? The good stuff is right here. I'm only expanding here, so I've only experienced the darkness. this much. But then when I experience the darkness even more, like really far depths, I can experience the highest of highs that much. I can go up and down. I'm no longer like working in a range like this. I'm working in a big range. So those emotions are really, really, really amazing when they are. But I can also have those deep, dark emotions, but I have that emotional intelligence and I know what to do when those emotions come up for me. You know how to control those emotions and not let it impact those around you. You deal with it, you learn from it, you integrate it, and then it makes your life even better because you've grown from it. Fourth step on how to love yourself, set your environment to win. This is if you're not happy in your house, again, the feeling of your heart, if it feels compressed, you probably shouldn't be in that house. Your heart, your soul's trying to talk to you. If you need to leave that relationship, leave the relationship. Leave the friends that are no longer empowering you. If they're not in alignment with where you're trying to go, why would you hold on to people that are holding you back from making you happy? Like you know what really makes you happy. And if those people in your life aren't making you happy, scrub them. And if you don't, what is that showing? You don't have the self love for yourself. You don't believe you're worthy to go out on your own because you're still seeking validation from those people that you're still trying to hold on to. So find self love. You're going to find it within yourself. You're not going to have to search for validation outside of yourself by your friend group, romantic relationships, family, business, or anything like that. If you have to walk alone for a while, be in solitude, do it because solitude is when you really get to know who you are. You get to build a relationship with yourself. What are my actual thoughts? Not my thoughts when I'm around my friends or the actions that I take when I'm around my friends. When I'm alone, what do I do? Because that is who you truly are. And this is where you get to be more accountable for yourself. If you don't like it, if you're scrolling, if you're being unproductive, but you really want to be productive, this is where you get to take the personal accountability and say, hey, I'm not happy with where I am in life right now, so I'm going to do something different about it. I used to hate myself. I got married for the wrong reasons. I almost went bankrupt. I was suicidal. I used to cut myself, super depressed, super anxious, just messed up my mind when I got out of the Marine Corps. My whole life was just, I feel bad for my mom. Sorry, mom. I love you. But until about 4 years ago, when I learned about emotional intelligence and the powers of the emotions and of the heart and opening your heart, the power of opening your heart, I've started applying it every single day for years. And that has been the number one thing that has helped me step into my purpose, build the confidence and the self worth to be able to sit in front of this camera. You know how difficult it is for an introvert to sit and just talk into a camera and potentially reach a lot of people? It gets intimidating every once in a while, but I know my self worth that there are other men out there that need to hear this message. Power of opening your heart, you get to choose. Do the work. You want to talk about doing hard stuff? Face your inner shadows, face your inner demons. This shit gets tough. There's going to be days where you're going to be laying in bed, crying and moaning, complaining, not wanting to do a damn thing. And there's going to be other days where you're standing on top of the mountaintop yelling freedom and you're going to feel so amazing. So be okay. It's a journey. Buckle up. Get ready for it. And fall in love with the journey. That's what I'll tell you guys. Fall in love with the experiences, the good, the bad. Just have fun with all of it. Don't, again, label anything negative or positive. Just enjoy what already is. This is your experience. Everything in your life, you are attracting into. And this healing journey, this rewiring, it's not going to happen overnight. That's why falling in love with the journey is so important. You got to remember it took your entire life, however old you are, it took your entire life to be traumatized, to armor your heart. But then 14 generations of ancestral trauma and fear and living through the Crusades and the Dark Ages and all these times, that is still within your DNA. As you do, well, as you do this work, you are unprogramming that DNA. It's called epigenetics. So just remember, it's going to take a little bit of time, but it is possible, and you're doing the work little by little every single day. Now that you have the awareness, now you get to make decisions based off of love, self-love, and heart-based decisions. So it's up to you what you do with this information now. Are you going to continue to hate yourself and do and get what you've always got? Or are you going to do something different to get something different in your life because you're tired of the situation, the way you think to yourself, the relationships you attract, the financial situation, your ability not to find purpose, or just being lost little puppy in the world and not doing the things that truly fulfill you? Now you have literally the key to finding your true power and potential in life. So you get to choose. What do you do with this wisdom and knowledge? One of my mentors says, to know and not to do is to not to know. So do you know the knowledge? I appreciate you guys watching this video so much. If you're all about making men again, Please like, share, subscribe, share this video with your homie because you know it's going to change their life. When you have the group of homies that are all heart-based, life gets fun. You have deep conversations, you're all doing crazy stuff, and you just get to be your true authentic self without being judged around anyone. And you're not being forced into parties and drinking alcohol because your friends make you want to drink your life away because life's miserable around your current friend. No, share this with all your friends. It's important for them. It's important for you. Share, subscribe. I love you guys so much. I will talk to all of you guys next time. Peace and love.